ข้อยกับฮู้คือกันเมื่อข้อยตายไปแล้วข้อยสิไปหาเจ้าพ่อบ่วิญญาณข้อยสินำหาเจ้าอยู่ไสล่ะ
In the end of this film, it is noted that it's inspired by a book called A Man Who Can Recall Past Lives.
Yes.
It's written by a monk. Can you talk about that book and the inspiration?
Yeah, it was this monk, this temple actually was near my house in the northeast, and my father went there a lot. And there's one time the monk gave me this book exactly about the man, but it was quite a long time ago, 2003 or something, and that I really fascinated by the man who claimed to remember into 100 of years of his life, but I didn't know how to make that because it was so kind of complicated, because I think the text already beautiful. You know, when you read something and there's something that open your imagination. So I kept it for a while, and you know, in 2009 I have a chance to do a primitive project, which has an installation, books, and feature film, like a big survey of the memory of the Northeast. Yeah. So this film is part of that. Yeah. So I kind of dusted up this book and make it as an inspiration rather than adaptation. So there's a lot of Uncle Apichatpong in there. You know, the idea of growing up with this television drama, comic books, you know, old films. Most of them are my own memory. It's talking about the passing transformation of from my childhood to now as a filmmaker, and also to kind of look at the transformation of media, about the film medium as a medium that shifted. And I don't know, maybe next film I will shoot on video, digital. So this is kind of like that, to make a tribute to celluloid. Of course, like many writers, I made a lot of notes of the impressions I had, and you know, just to gather these keywords and try to make sense of these memories. And it takes a long time to accumulate these notes, you know, of several years, you know, because I had this book a long time ago, but when it comes to writing, it's less than a month for that. I was stuck, and I went to the temple and I meditated, and then I came back. Everything flow into the computer, and that's it's a very strange experience.
อายเคยเกิดอยู่หม้องนี้ในศาสตร์หนึ่งที่อายจื้อบ่ได้อายฮู้แต่ว่าอายเคยเกิดอยู่หม้องนี้บ่ฮู้ว่าเป็นคนหรือว่าเป็นสัตว์เป็นผู้หญิงหรือว่าเป็นผู้ชาย
The area where the film is set, Sednaburis, has a very sad history. Can you talk about that?
Yes, it's a country that the city that is quite known in terms of the scholar, but kind of the public is not much interest in this village that has the spread of the communism came. It's the first village in Thailand because it's near Laos, the border. So it's come from South Vietnam and through Laos to here to there, and that the ideology of communism was really appealing for the people there because of the geography there in the northeast. It's not a nice place to live, you know, and it's full of political manipulation and all this kind of with the central Bangkok part try to dominate and kind of suppress in a way. So this is not very help in terms of funding education. So obviously communism is very attractive. Yeah. So many people join the CPT, which is Communist Party of Thailand, and that many men went into the jungle because there's no choices. Because once the government know that they set up the camp in the temple, and that every morning you have to go to stamp before you go to rice field. You have to stamp like when you go to a discotheque, stamp, and then come back at 4 or something, and then it's a village full of fear. And if you ask if you're communist, you say yes, you will be killed. So only women, children remain, and they were the brave one because they stay on to take care of the house and to kind of put the rice and other supply to their men in the jungle.
Death and reincarnation are something you are very interested in. And I'm wondering whether you had a very strong awareness of consciousness about death and mortality as a child, because you grew up in a hospital environment where your parents were doctors.
No, in the hospital area, we lived there for 15 years in that compound, but as a kid, we didn't think about death. I think it's more of like a playground for us, all this, and just, I think everywhere, where you grow up, you find something, with this perspective that the kids, you enjoy. For me, I enjoy even just the smoke from the laundry factory in it's so beautiful, and all this smell of the hospital is really addictive, antiseptic. Yeah, so yeah, I was more like that, but didn't think in a philosophical way of life or anything. Yeah.
So when did you get interested in that?
I think later, for the past 5 years, and that when death and politics, when there's a political situation in Thailand start to be very intense, you have a fraction and you have a fight of different ideology, and you are labeled this color, that color, and I realized that one day I woke up and I said to my boyfriend that, we're not very happy, we're not really free. Suddenly that night, I don't know, that morning I just say, think about something that we cannot say in this country, and then we list, and there's a lot of things that we cannot say or do. Yeah, and then I start to, of course, like many people during that time, educate ourselves to internet, to whatever, and realize that the evil cycle that goes on, and then there's a sense of hopelessness living in Thailand. Of course, it's beautiful, but at the same time, it's a violent country. As a filmmaker, I try to look at it in a positive way, like you can either subvert it or fight it for it, and yeah.
You have said that you make films to remember. It could be memories of your childhood, memories of your parents, or memories of physical spaces like the hospital, the smell of it, the jungle. And sometimes the past can be very tormenting, but in your films, everything seemed to be so peaceful. Even when Uncle Boonmee talks about killing communists, everything is just There's a sense of, there's a gentleness about the past.
It's just there. I just think, some brutal memory or some negative ones will just happen. So film is like a therapy in a way to just look at it in a non-judgmental way, and that things happens, and especially like I said before in Thailand, there's a certain kind of ignorance in the air that you just accept. The process of filmmaking is very fascinating, how you live with people to create a world, simulate world. And as a shy person, I don't think I have this chance. If I do something else, in a short period, you meet so many people. You meet costume designer, art designer, you meet funders, and drivers, all these lawyers. So it's really a packed experience that in the pretext of making film, excuse of making film. So also it's very a therapeutic way, like have another way of looking at life, and you use the same set of crew of actors, and you see them, we all get old together, age together. I feel that filmmaking is very addictive. At one angle is very addictive, but another is that it made me realize that it's not an ultimate. Before, film is always ultimate. For me, film is like religion. but now I feel less and less, and actually I'm starting to do avocado farm. It's like a backup, like if
They have avocado in Thailand?
That's the thing, we have little avocado, so I want to make so if I don't have a chance to make it, it's okay, I think. But yeah, and also a good thing is I start to produce 2 films now. Yeah, hopefully next year will be done. Yeah. So, and at the same time, with my interest in Buddhism, I always have conflict. The film is really about attachment to your memory, and that is so opposite of filmmaking. Filmmaking is about control. It's about many times you have to be very mean to be able to get the result with this low budget. And so there's some conflict going on, that making film. And I talked to a monk and he said, why do you need to make film? It's in there. Especially you already your film talk about memory and stuff like that. So, and also he reminded me of the word of Jane Goodall. I believe she once said that she don't keep memory. She don't keep writing diary because she lived her life. So this made me think a lot, whether film is the best way to live.